Hello everybody and welcome back to Crypto Atlas. Unless you guys are new to the channel, then well, it is very nice to meet you guys and hopefully you enjoy your time while you're here and hopefully we see you again. And today's video, we are going to be discussing Bitcoin, Ethereum, Orchid, as well as Dash. As you guys can clearly see, Dash has absolutely had a crazy day, but we'll take a look more on the charts and I'll give you guys my analysis of what we think could potentially happen next. I got some news information that is going on with Dash as well, which may be contributing to why that recent rise had taken place. We'll be we'll be discussing some things in the news, especially with Bitcoin first off, and then we'll actually go more so into the charts. It is currently 3:57 p.m. Pacific Standard Time as of the time of me recording this video. If you guys are new to the channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up like button as well. Let's try and get this video to at least 100 likes. Every video, we're trying to aim for that goal, and I need you guys' help to do this, and it only takes you a tenth of a millisecond of a quadrillion. I don't know. I'm just making up numbers now at this point. And yeah, also click the bell icon so you actually know whenever we have a new video. So very curious to see how we're going to close out on the daily candle here with only about 2.5 minutes left or so, 2 minutes left now actually. So it's still holding above $47,000, which is great. Ideally, this would have been nice if it would have closed above $48,000. Do keep in mind that the Chinese New Year is now actually officially taking place. I believe that's normally about a week or so that they do their celebrations with that. With everything with COVID, it's going to make it a little bit more difficult for them over there, but still their traditions and how they handle things still has a little bit of an impact on things with crypto. But when you look at it on the track record history over the years, it's been mixed. Some years it's been impacting it, other years it hasn't. So not the greatest reference point, but still something at least take into consideration, right? So I got about a minute and a half or something left, minute, whatever. Anyways, let's go ahead and hop over to Twitter side first. And I want to start off by saying I'm also on Twitter. My handle's in the bottom left-hand side there. You guys can see at Atlas Official TV. I do talk about stuff with Bitcoin, with cryptocurrencies. I try to do polls, and I would love to get more engagements from the community and see what you guys think. So if you guys use Twitter, go hop over there and be sure to follow me at Atlas Official TV. And aside from that, let's go and discuss what other people are talking about in the world of crypto and Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is now worth more than the two largest payment services in the world combined, Visa and PayPal, which is interesting because PayPal, you can use a lot of stuff with Bitcoin, as well as Visa's getting more integrated with it. PayPal is looking to expand more off of it. So very, very cool to hear information like that. Also, what's really cool, this will hardly buy you half a Bitcoin right now. That's 500 grams of gold, right? That thing right there in your hand, that's that gold, looking to try and get you half a Bitcoin. Shows you how the tables are turning in this paradigm. And we'll talk about the news and what's going on here with Dash in just 1 second. But I want to start off. We are now 4 o'clock. There we go. Perfect timing. 47,240 looks like it was the new daily candle position open. And what we saw previously is that right on the new daily candle, price began to skyrocket very fast upwards. Now, if you go back a couple weeks ago, what we were actually seeing was on the new daily candle positions, it immediately had a sell-off at first and then began to rise. So once again, a lot of volatility that's going on the daily candles here. You saw 2 days ago a high point of $48,874 or so dollars, and it went all the way down to $46,260. So that was like a $2,000 range over the course of a single day. Yesterday's candle, which just now closed, was at a high of $48,157 and a low at $46,284, right? So once again, we're still looking at roughly a range of about $2,000. So in theory, as people have suggested, that we could end up seeing $50,000 Bitcoin by the end of this weekend. That would actually mean that over the course of the next 24-hour period, if you're just looking at it from a UTC standard point of view, that we would need $2,750 or so to be able to actually hit the $50,000 mark. Now, if you don't take it into consideration from a UTC side, like with where I'm at right now, it is 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I've still got another 8 hours left on my weekend schedule until it actually has that position. So when people say like, oh, if it's going to hit this weekend, it's kind of open perspective point of view. I think a lot of people still keep it as that mentality like, oh, it hit $50,000 this weekend. It's like, but not on UTC Standard Time. It's like, yeah, but it was my weekend, so I can say it hit it this weekend for me, right? So, yeah, I think the chances of us hitting that for a Sunday type period, especially with the Chinese New Year and everything that's going on, there's been a lot of really good bullish news lately. We probably would need to have some weird announcement come out on a Sunday, which would be highly unexpected. So I think the chances of this hitting $50,000 look more promising going into next week. Hopefully, but right now we are hanging in there very close to this. And yeah, so we're going to talk more about the charts here in just a little bit, but just wanted to kind of discuss a couple things while we take a look at what's going on with the chart. And so now you can actually see it's starting to have a little bit of a rise up once again. We're only 2 minutes in the new daily candle position, and as far as that body candle from yesterday, we're already halfway through that. You can actually see the volume is also extremely low for yesterday. There was almost no movement at all that took place in comparison. This is some of the lowest volume that we've seen with Bitcoin for a long time. In fact, if I zoom out here, the last time that we saw that low of volume being traded for Bitcoin, I mean, I'm still having to zoom out more. Yeah, the last time that we had anything that was either at this level or below was all the way back on December 14th. And after that, it was immediately followed up with 3 large volume candle increases, right? So we've had the decline taking place with this. And again, I'll discuss this more in just a little bit. As you guys can actually see, we go ahead and zoom in on here a little bit more. You take a look at these bottom volume candles right here. We had a large candle take place on February 8th, and then everything's been declining. Since then, we can only have that volume decline for so long until it begins to swing back up. And, with the Chinese New Year, again, like if that's a week-long type event, then we could see this really kick up back again in volume at least once they decide that their celebrations are finishing up. But yeah, we're going to take a look more at the chart here in just a little bit. So let me go and run through these things real quick. Dash over on Twitter, some of the news that they've been sharing. So it says, will Dash see a DEX pump? Dash had actually retweeted this. There's 93 different likes that are on this currently. So that could be one of the feeding frenzies contributing towards its recent rise. A lot of things also suggest it's, a pump and dump. We're inside of an altcoin season market. But I am trying to share with you guys if there is any relevant news so that you guys can take that into consideration. The other thing is that providing a great user experience is the final step required to achieve mass adoption. Dash is ready to go mainstream by making blockchain payments easy, familiar, and pleasant. Say bye to cryptographic addresses and hello to usernames. Welcome to the world of social payments. Biggest barriers to crypto adoption, ease of use. So this, just from its title alone, I'll be honest, I didn't read the full article on it. Looks like it actually links over to a YouTube type thing. Dash, once again, they had retweeted something like this. But if this is true, and you guys can let me know in the comments, I don't try and portray it as if I know everything. I'm not a financial advisor, so do keep that in mind. That something like this with Dash, if you can actually be able to send crypto payments, especially I would say if you could pull off integrating it somehow with Bitcoin to where you can just send it to a username's address instead of having to do the big cryptographic, all the code things, that would be amazing. That would be so nice because, man, it is so stressful having to look through all of that little detailed stuff, making sure that you got it right every time. Even if you do copy and paste, it's just so stressful when you actually go to hit send. And especially like I sent over recently one transaction and it took like 10 minutes until I actually saw that it was then pending on the other side. And the whole time I'm just like, oh my gosh, if that money is gone, I can't believe it. I double checked everything, triple checked it too, but you just never know. Next thing up, Senator Cynthia Lummis urged Elon Musk to move to Wyoming, saying it had the best Bitcoin laws. Wyoming is the perfect state for innovation, Lummis told Yahoo Finance. Lummis, I don't know how you say her name, said she hasn't heard back from Musk, who recently moved to Texas. Well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of a weird concept when you think like, hey, you just moved to Texas, but instead of living there, just go ahead and move again over to the state of Wyoming. So although Wyoming has a lot of good stuff going on for the crypto industry space as a whole, there's still that appeal. I think a lot of people are going towards Texas, and I think one of the things has to do primarily with like state tax. I don't know if Wyoming has state tax, So yeah, she's making it sound like it's much more favorable to crypto, but of course Elon Musk is not just doing crypto with Bitcoin. He's also got Tesla, he's also got SpaceX, probably something else at some point. Morgan Stanley Investment Management's Counterpoint Global, a $150 billion investing unit, was looking into whether the cryptocurrency would be a suitable option for its investors. Bloomberg reported, citing people familiar with the matter, the investment would require regulatory approval, the report added. So it's not a guaranteed thing with this, but it is something that sounds like could be a really good option, right? $150 billion investing unit. So if they did 1% of that, just for example, 1% would be $1.5 billion. And guess what? That's what Tesla just did, was $1.5 billion. BitPay said on Friday holders of its prepaid Mastercard could use their Bitcoin on Apple Pay. BitPay said it would also add the cards to Google and Samsung Pay. Customers were always looking for new places and ways to spend their crypto, said BitPay. So another very good set of bullish news. Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency that is still cryptic to many Americans, could become a form of payment for Broward County. County commissioners are scheduled to discuss the idea of allowing residents to use the electronic money Bitcoin to pay bills, as well as the potential for the county, I almost said country, for the county to invest in it to beef up the coffers. Vice Mayor Michael Udine, who is asking for the conversation on February 23rd, so we're looking at, before the end of the month here, another, what's today, the 13th, so another 10 days, said the county likely wouldn't start off accepting small amounts, like a library fine or rent on a park pavilion. But he envisions the possibility of the public using it to pay a tax bill or developers who need to spend thousands of dollars in permits. As more places, this is following suit with what Miami was recently talking about, so it's looking very promising for sure. And let me know if you guys have been hearing any rumors of any other counties, states that are looking to do some things that maybe it's not really being talked about that much. You heard from somebody, this and that. Tell us in the comments down below. Got my tea going on. Hopping over to the charts now. Here's where we get into the fun stuff, right? So taking a look at this, you guys can see the RSI is still suggesting that we're in the overbought territory. And in this kind of position, if I don't have it in front of me, by the way, but if you take a look to the stock to flow model by Plan B, he actually shows that we're reaching towards a high point on the RSI. And by high point, it's pushing towards around the 90 range. And a lot of people, let me go ahead and clarify this too. A lot of people were looking at that chart and they were saying, oh, this is an indication that we're nearing the top and we should expect a pullback soon. No, it's actually being suggested that above the 90 RSI, there's about an 8-month period or so more that we could see with where we're currently at, according to him and his chart analysis, that we could still see Bitcoin rallying even more. So we're talking about towards the end of the year. When you have a 4-year cycle, having it only be like 2 months of period would seem kind of silly with the full incline rise. So you got a buildup of everything towards this, right? So I think we still got plenty of room to grow with this, but you guys let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Looking at the chart itself right here, we still have a previous all-time high of $48,900 or so that we need to try and break above. As of the moment though, if we just crossed a line through all three of these points, although it's not that substantiated, we do have some resistance occurring at $48,207, right? More than likely, when this makes a break above $48,000 again, we're really going to be trying to retest that $49,000. So I'd be most looking at $49,000 as a key level of resistance. And then, of course, above that is going to be the $50,000 big kahuna, right? So let's go ahead and set that up right there and then set up another one at the $50,000 range. Right about there should be good. Yeah, those look like they're pretty good. Now, if Bitcoin decides that it wants to start going down, we do have a key level of support on 2 days at least, somewhat substantiated. 2 days is better than one, obviously. Ideally, we have 3 or more. $46,300 is a level that it could see a bounce if it decides it wants to go down. That'd be 1,000 $1,100 from where we're currently at as of the time of me recording this video. So 46,300 could be a potential bounce zone, and then a significant drop would pull it all the way down to $41,000 respectively. That's on the 21 EMA. So that'd be a massive drop, like $6,300. There'd have to be some really bad news compounded together, then the miners in China and everything, you know, some crazy thing, new ban, whatever. That's with Bitcoin. So it is looking really good though. Now, if we head over to Ethereum, what is going on with Ethereum? Ethereum had a red day as well yesterday. It did, however, hit a new all-time high. Ooh, that's still pretty darn good, though, at least. 1,880, trying to inch its way closer towards $2,000, which, let's be honest, it feels like it basically is inching its way towards $2,000. I bet a lot of people feel that it should have been at $2,000 quite a while ago. Right now at 1,826, still showing some signs of recovery, just like we just saw with Bitcoin. If this decides that it wants to drop down, aside from us trying to get past the $1,880 level, sorry, let's talk about the high first. So trying to get to $1,900, obviously, and then, of course, heading up towards the $2,000 level. So then if it decides it wants to go down, we're looking at a key level support at $1,750. And a significant drop would actually pull it down to the 21 EMA, which is at $1,604. The RSI on the Ethereum chart is actually not overbought, but it is very close to the verge of that. So realistically, this could still see some nice growth, and you know, comparison with the relative strength index, it's not even that bad. But also keep in mind that with us being in such a bull market like this and in price discovery zone, the RSI is not a very strong indicator for these kinds of circumstances. So we're kind of staircasing our way up, going here a little bit, and things are overall looking pretty darn good. Even potentially starting to form a bull pennant flag right here if this decides that it wants to keep tapping this zone. So keep tapping the top as we're climbing up, forming new higher lows. Things are looking really good. Off of that, oops, that's not an O. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. Going to go take a look over at Orchid. So Orchid had a significant decline, but a bit of a retracement back up as of yesterday. So, you know, I don't like the pump and dump situations that typically happen with Orchid. The good news is with this, that although it did have a significant climb up and then dumped the vast majority of it on the daily candle, let's be honest, it went all the way down to 57 cents. It did climb back up and actually closed out the day at 67 cents. How today is going to further progress is a very good question. It's showing a little bit of red signs. It did dip down a bit here to 65 cents at first. It's trying to fight its way to hold above this Fibonacci level. You can even see it bounced right off of it. That was at 65 cents, 0.6567. And then a further drop all the way down here, which would then actually just slightly pass below this Fibonacci level. A key level support then is going to be at 45 cents, 0.4560. A lot of people feel very strongly, myself included, that this is highly undervalued and should be at that dollar range already. And with the upcoming event with Edward Snowden, a lot of these other people coming up in March, towards the end of March, very bullish news. And I think that very well, we could see a swing of $1 to $2 on the price point, in my opinion, around that event. Because Edward Snowden has a lot of followers and a lot of people that support him because of privacy issue rights that occurred in the United States of America. And lo and behold, he's coming to talk about privacy rights again in relationship with the summit to this of Orchid, which is largely supporting VPN space right now. Although they are expanding out into more things, which is going to be really exciting too. If this decides that it wants to go up, then we're going to have a little bit of resistance at 74 cents. Ideally 75 cents from a psychological standpoint. We did have that bounce off that took place at 80 cents. So a lot of eyes are going to be at that 80-cent range and seeing if we can pass above that zone. Let me go ahead and set up my little chart right there. And then a further break up above that, we're going to see at 94 cents. We could see a run all the way up to $1. More than likely, there's going to be a large amount of sell-off take place right at the $1 range before it has a further continuation up. I would like to see this push to around $1.22 on the Fibonacci retracement before it has that pullback. So it could be a little bit of a fake out. I could honestly see, just based on the past history of Orchid, a bunch of people coming in and pumping this up to $1.22 and then it retracing all the way back down to, say, like the 80 cent I could even see like an 83 kind of cent range. Now that's totally speculative. Let me just make that clear. That's not based on the technical analysis. This is just my gut feeling after having watched this like every single day and what could potentially play out. So take that with a very small grain of salt. The RSI is unfortunately showing that it is considered to be overbought right now. The technical radar, you can't see it, is suggesting as a buy. Fairly large volume yesterday too on the red, but we'll see how things play out with this as over the next 24 hours. And then what the heck? Last thing we're going to be taking a look at is Dash. Dash, explosive day yesterday, massive green candle, and actually passed above the $200 range, went all the way up to $322. Whew! Holy cow, dude, before it came back and retraced down, closing out at $268. Still looking very good on its track, trying to pass that $320 mark once again. If this was to see some retracement back down, we'd pull it all the way down to $152. The RSI is suggested to be extremely overbought. This one I'm a little bit more concerned on just because of the fact that we had a lot of this consolidation movement and then it started to rise and then it just massively exploded. So things are overall looking very good with this though. If we go ahead and zoom out here even further, let's go ahead and just go on the monthly chart. You guys can see, at least from the Coinbase side, that this was the previous all-time high. And this is going absolutely parabolic right now. If it passes $320 again, then I think we're really going to be trying to eye $400 realistically as the next major milestone with this. But because of how much it did go up, let's go ahead and also take into consideration if it decides that it wants to retrace. So on the Fibonacci retracement level, I would be looking at this pulling down. There's a lot of association taking place for a while here within this region zone. Let's go on the daily position now. I could see us potentially having a bounce. We're very close to it on the 0.786, which would be at $263. Come on, zoom in. There we go. And then if it dropped even further down, it's about the halfway point on this, and that'd be at the 0.618, which is actually $221.40. A 3/4 drop or so would pull it down to $190.78. So this is some of the levels that we could see if it pulls back. Right now it's still holding in the green. A little bit of pullback action going off from there, but in comparison to the other cryptos that we've been seeing, this is actually holding up very, very well. Just taking one last quick look over what's going on with Bitcoin here. Make sure I got all my stuff that is saved. Save layout. There we go. And Bitcoin is in the green, $47,580. Can it pass $50,000 before the end of this weekend? That is the big question. You guys let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Once again, if you are new to the channel, do not forget to hit subscribe. Hit the thumbs up like button. Let's try and get this video to at least 100 likes. Click the bell icon. It is so important to click that bell icon. YouTube has horrible issues with this, and I want to build an amazing community, and I want you guys to be a part of that. Thank you guys, and I will see you in the next episode.